Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Tuesday, November the 11th, 2025. This show is starting now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. Please subscribe before you go for this show every day to get notifications for it, and of course, other great content we have. On today's awesome show, you'll notice it will not be in order. I decided to switch it up. Little audible here. We're going to first get into my 12th ranked team this NLL season. Who will it be? Against another team that's not missing the playoffs. I already unveiled Calgary as my 14th team, and I unveiled Philadelphia yesterday as my 13th team, who is still in the bottom of the barrel. We'll also get to Maki Jenner, who is making history in broadcasting and is awesome with her love of lacrosse. We'll be very excited to talk to her about all kinds of things, including the Halifax Thunderbirds. And finally, I'll do day 2 of 3 of our roster recaps, as I'll talk about the off-season moves of the Oshawa Firewolves, the San Diego Seals, the Calgary Roughnecks, the Halifax Thunderbirds, and the Saskatchewan Rush. Without further ado, I want to let you know that this show is presented by the Event Tickets tab at the Natter website. Head to natalkradio.com and click the Event Tickets tab today. There, you can type in your favorite National Lacrosse League team or the one closest to you, no matter how that works in your brain, and you can get your tickets for less. It gives us credits. We thank you as you go attend the games. And I'm begging you, Rochester and Philadelphia fans, to pack the barns this year. Let's make it happen. All right, so let's now get into my first topic, which will be who is my 12th ranked team. Now, this one is going to surprise some people. I know it will. And much like with my Halifax Thunderbirds pick, I am putting a little bit of stock in the potential Randy Stotts injury. I'm doing it here with the potential Chris Riglieri missing time. I love that he's a firefighter, but the alternative to him, we don't know what that is. Now, people have talked about Cameron Dunkerley. I believe in the young Titan Redlick, but this season, San Diego needs a Riglieri to stay afloat, and I don't think they'll have him based on what the consensus is right now. If they do, we'll all look like idiots, but this is what it is right now, and that is playing into the part why I have them finishing at 6-12. Frick says Fryer. Thank you. Steve Fryer? What is the reference there? You can't just say that, Frick. Anyways, I know the Seals have also failed in the last few years. They brought in Rob Hellier last year. That experiment did not really work. I know people say, well, he had numbers. Yeah, well, he was supposed to have more goals. And again, watching those games, you're like, where is he? It felt like a lot of empty calories. It's no knock on Rob Hellier, but it's like I've also said that Patrick Merrill is on the hot seat. Whether or not Seals organization wants to admit it or not, they have been going nowhere since I started the show in 2022. They've done nothing. They've been upset by Colorado. They've not made the playoffs. It's so many things they have not done despite Joe Tsai stacking the deck. And that is a glaring issue that I think finally carries over. Now, I have them finishing, like I said, 6-12. I think they have wins. I think they're going to have 4. They're going to have 5 wins at home. Calgary, Toronto, Saskatchewan, actually, Halifax, and Las Vegas late in the year. And I think they win at Philadelphia. I think this team is going to fall flat on its face. I love Wesley Berg. I love watching the games when Cooper Perkins is out there saying Wesley Berg as he scores a late clutch goal. That ain't good enough, though. This Seals team has been talented for so long. You also lose Cam Holding and Jesse Gamble to retirement. Trevor Baptiste's health is always an issue. What is going to happen with this team? And Connor Robinson, maybe he'll have a big year. We'll have to see. Frick says, we're on the street to say, oh, Rig will be back. Listen, I hope so. But again, I'll put it this way. Even if we get a full season of a Wrigley, I don't think they make the playoffs. So they might not finish 12th again. This is all based on O-Rig. But even if that does happen, I'll predict it now. They still will not make the playoffs. I'll say it. Again, when you are hyped up so many times and continuously fall on your face when the lights are their brightest, I think that carries over eventually. And it might be a nothing seen on paper. It's like you have no facts to back that up. Fine. Watch it unfold. Again, I will be on record saying even if Wrigley plays this year, I still think they missed the playoffs. I don't think there's enough. I think there's talent. I've never seen it from this team. And I don't know when I'm supposed to expect to see it. Eventually, things have to start happening. You have to start winning important games. They don't tend to do that unless it's in their barn. But even then, Colorado showed that was a myth. So it is what it is. We come back to the show. We're going to talk to Maki Jenner, who is making so much history in the broadcast booth. We'll also talk to her about Halifax Thunderbirds and Bluenose Lacrosse player development. That'll also be a fun thing. Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive is taking a break. We're just getting started.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
We welcome you back to Daily Dive, and do not worry, we are expecting Maki Jenner on today's show. But for now, I will jump to our other segment we're doing. Reminder to subscribe to this channel if you have not already to get the best content. We just had a soccer championship. That one came down to the wire, a 1-0 victory for Illinois Wesleyan, in case you're keeping track. I know most of you are not, but that was actually fun to watch. I love that they do that stuff with us. We've had other shows on here, like Natter Kickoff, doing some football bets. Those are fun. And also, of course, this show, Daily Dive, airing every day at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. So let's get into this now. We're going to do the off-season moves for these teams. So, and we'll go through these quickly here. Because I mentioned you guys Oshawa, San Diego, Calgary, Halifax, and Saskatchewan. For the Oshawa Firewolves, I actually do like that they're one of the teams that kept it kind of not many big additions or losses. Now, granted, Kyle Robish is, I know, a big deal. And if there's anything Glenn Clark's team needed more, or maybe not need more of, it's mean guys who play great defense. I don't know if you guys remember the run they made 2 years ago when they were getting under team skin. Guys like Kyle Rubish helped out. I'm excited, and as you'll figure out later on, Kyle Rubish, and Oshawa in general, I think is going to have a really big year. San Diego Seals, I mentioned earlier, Cam Holding retired, Jesse Gamble retired. Shout out to them. They traded for Connor Robinson. I actually like the fact they added the local guy, Marquez White, who has been with the Royals, I believe, for a few years. He's been awesome. They also ordered. Wow, that sounds evil. They added Corey Small, the one they call Cat, I guess. That's a weird. There's too many cats in the NLL. We go Kevin Crowley, Corey Small. How many kittens we got in the NLL? We got to stop doing the cat thing, man. One guy can have the cat. I have Kevin Crowley sign the cross ball. I'll leave it there. But yeah, I think Seals, they might have some growing pains this year. And again, if what Frick says about Ulrich is true, good for the Seals. I still think they missed the playoffs. Kyrie Roughnecks. Listen, Dane Doby, another one. This is a big retirement segment. Dane Doby, another one. Happy Trails, man. They also lost everybody that was good last year. Now, Tyler Pace did come back. That was awesome. So he did not do the Del Bianco thing. I love that for Tyler Pace, the man who built the place, or at least the thing in Vancouver that they do. They brought in Ben Foster, and I told you guys on Friday, I'm sad that they've already signed him to something, at least not the active roster. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, are you guys going to bring in Holden Katoni? Where's the offense coming from in Calgary, man? It is what it is. Thunderbirds, which we're going to get to Maki soon. She is patiently waiting. They brought back Clark Peterson, which I did not know I knew how awesome he was. Him being able to break a Halifax Thunderbirds player points record, I'm like, that's awesome. That's coming up soon. They brought in Brandon Bomberry. You stole him from the Swarm. It's okay. They also have young Will McLeod who's going to step up. Of course, the Randy Stotts injury, we'll have to see how long that does last. I was sent a video showing that he might look like he's doing pretty good in one of those preseason training camp videos. Well, we hope that he does not miss much time, if at all. I hope I was wrong. And, of course, the Rush. Another team that stayed complacent. Kind of like Halifax almost. Just have good rookies. And I do think there's value in Halifax, Saskatchewan, and Oshawa staying put. Of course, stay tuned all week and next week for my final predictions. But that's where these rosters stand now. Again, tomorrow, we're going to wrap it up with Buffalo, Toronto, Georgia, Colorado, and Philadelphia roster moves. And that'll be that. We'll have the recap done. But we're not done with the show. Maki Jenner is waiting patiently. And when we come back from this break, we're going to talk to her. But all things Halifax, broadcasting, etc. You don't want to miss it. This is Daily Dive. We'll be right back and finish it off next.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Pretty big moment here as we welcome in the princess of the NLL, Maki Jenner.
Gosh, what a title.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We know you've been busy, but we thank you for taking time with us today. I tried to build a bio. I just said Thunderbirds Media. You do like 5 things over there.
That's right.
Play-by-play and analyst, first female, both those, and player development at Bluenose, which we will also touch on. But thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I am too, and so are the people. So, question: you are in studio right now. I gotta ask you, and
Yeah.
I don't know if you can talk about this yet. Are the people? Are we gonna get box out this year? Or you don't know yet.
You know what? I don't know. I don't have
Okay,
an update on that. I would love to come back. I loved working with
Yeah.
Cooper last year, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see. I know it was kind of a work in progress last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see how things roll out.
Well, best of wishes if that does come back. I just noticed the studio. So wait a minute here.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, you're good.
All right, so let's jump right into the history of things because obviously, you were last year the first female to do analyst in an NLL game, and back-to-back years now at the play-by-play.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? And is it more than one game?
Yeah, so I had no idea that this was going to be a thing. I feel like last year people were kind of like joking around a little bit, like, "Oh, all you have to do now is play by play," and everyone was kind of like, "Oh yeah." And then this last few weeks, they reached out and said, "Hey, look, like we would love to have you do play by play for a game, and I am going to be doing 2 games play by play." So I'm super excited about that. I think it's just really cool. I mean, I grew up obviously watching the NLL like back when it was on TSN prior, and then the BR Live days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right. What a throwback. And now everything that we've seen recently, and there just hadn't really been a ton of female representation in terms of being in the booth, and so I think for me to have that honor is huge, and I have such a respect for everyone that does it. And I think I've been surrounded by some of the best in the business my entire life. Like, I mean, obviously Ted, but then I've known Pat for the last few years now. And so just, getting to work alongside them has been really great. And so I just want to do them, an honor by doing the best that I can and make sure everyone listening keeps listening. And so I want to make sure that it's a good show for everyone.
Yeah, I do I try to dabble in the play-by-play, but I got to ask you, and we'll get to the history more in a little bit too as well, but I could not see myself doing analyst at all. I can't stand the thought of it. What do you prefer, like, if you had a choice between play-by-play and analyst? I love play-by-play personally.
Yeah, it's so interesting you bring that up because it's been kind of cool, and this year will be cool because I'll have the opportunity to kind of do all 3 at different points of the season. And I think for me, I like the analytical standpoint because I feel like I've been involved and around the game for so long. Both of my parents were coaches and have coached me. And so I feel like, listening to them talk X's and O's and all that sort of thing is just part of how I grew up. And so I really like that I can add kind of what I'm seeing. And I know Pat has deemed it as like, we're kind of eye test people. The numbers are one thing. Math is not my specialty. And so I like just kind of observing and pointing out different things that I notice. And I think that role is really cool. But I also think that play-by-play is really neat because it opens the door of doing other things and not just lacrosse specific, but getting to, branch out into other sports and doing other things. And so I think that's kind of a cool aspect of play-by-play where, yes, terminology and lingo might be different, but you kind of just get to say what you're seeing. And so, yeah, I think also part of the color that I really liked was, my background is in the reporting and that sort of thing and the journalistic side of things. So being able to have the storytelling aspect is really cool because I think that that's how we bring new fans in. And you've had players on as guests and people in the media on as guests. And that's how people come to love the sport, is getting to know the athletes behind the helmet or whatever you want to say. And so I think that that's another really cool kind of aspect that I've taken to.
That is true. The play-by-play, I've been told to have the stories to help the broadcast out instead of just, first down, touchdown, all this other stuff, Yeah. So, I know, obviously I was I don't know how old you are because you talk about BR Live. I'm like, geez, what is she, 40? I'm kidding.
No.
I know you, from my days starting 2022 of this whole NLL thing, as Maki, the Thunderbirds reporter, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true that you played lacrosse for a while and then What I'm like, didn't you have an injury? Because I feel like I've heard that story. I forgot where it was though.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been playing since I was 4. Like
Oh,
my parents didn't force me into it. Like both of them played. My mom played collegiately in the US.
oh,
She's from the US originally. And then
wow.
my dad played in the NLL. That's actually how they met. When my dad was playing out east, and I think they were in New York or something. He was a healthy scratch. Yeah.
Oh,
He was a
wow.
healthy scratch. And my mom and him met. Yeah. So that's like the story of how it came to be. So I feel like it really is just like in my blood. But yeah, so I played my first year university was at the University of Denver. And then I transferred to a Division II school in Minnesota. But yeah, I had a season-ending injury. I broke my the
Mm.
bone that's in my shin. It just wasn't quite the same after that. And so I would like to say I'm in retirement in that aspect of things. So yeah, so I have played for a very long time and definitely had some time that I felt like I needed to step away from the game a little bit. But I
Mm.
think through my career, it's really brought that kind of passion and love for lacrosse back. So yeah, I feel like I've always kind of been around it in some capacity.
What were you like an offensive player, like a gritty defensive player? Like what kind of player were you?
Yeah, I played midfield
Wow.
for most of my life. And then when I went to Denver, I played a bit of both. But then when I went to school in Minnesota, I played defense. I really liked the defensive side of things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'll always say that I have a big appreciation for defenses. In box lacrosse, I was a bit of a nutcase, I would say. I had a bit of I had a bit of a temper to me.
Jeez,
I
Danny
tried to
Doby.
yeah, right. I tried to keep it in the box only. Field, I was like, okay, I'll hold myself together a little bit more. But yeah, gotta
That's
get the
amazing.
aggression out somehow.
How cool is it seeing the what was it? I forgot what event that in Utica when they did the women's box. How
Yes.
cool was that for you? Like knowing, oh, was that like
Yeah.
a fangirl moment for you?
Oh my God, absolutely. So it was so cool because I mean, one, finally, right? Like we're
Hmm.
finally at a place where we can have a world event for box lacrosse for women. It was
Yes.
really cool because there were a lot of girls that I played with. I had some of my former coaches on that team, and then a girl that I coached, like at the high school that I went to. She played there, and so I got to coach her. So it was like this crazy like whirlwind of just seeing all these people that I played against, played with, were coached by, get to represent on the Canadian side of things. And so yeah, it was incredible. And then obviously, with
Wow.
the US, getting to watch like Charlotte North and all those girls like in the box and doing
Mm.
something that God, it was so incredible to watch them and what they were able to accomplish
Chills.
down there, right? Yeah. So it was so cool to be a small part of that. And, again, one of those moments where I just wanted to do the best that I could to prove that, there is a future for this thing for the women inside the box. So yeah, it was just such a cool experience. And getting to see, them thrive and just enjoy it too. And also getting to see all the men's teams come out and support them. Like that was
Oh
so
yeah.
cool to just watch. I mean, there were so many family ties, like the DeSnews were both there. You had cousins and father-daughter duos that were out there. So it was
Dana
just really
Doby.
cool. Yes, like it was just so cool to see legends of the games compete with, future
Oh.
stars. But yeah, that was incredible.
I looking up some stuff before that event. I was like, who is Dana Doby? What
Yeah,
is
right.
this? What am I reading?
Yeah,
Oh, it's awesome.
it was pretty electric. Yeah.
So is that why when you started the Thunderbirds media, all the stuff that you do, all the hats that you wear over there,
Mhm.
were you thinking, I'm going to take the leap to the broadcast booth, or were you just trying to get back in the game?
Yeah, I think that was one reason why I really wanted to make the move out here, was because of the opportunity to do the sideline reporting. Like that was something that I always really wanted to do. I honestly had no clue that I would ever get the chance to be in the booth, but the reporting was kind of the thing. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely taken on a number of things that I also never really realized I would do. So I oversee all of our youth programs, so our school
Oh,
programming, our junior Thunderbird stuff. And that's been something that's really cool. Again, I have no really background in organizing youth events, dealing with parents and all of that stuff, but I've been very lucky in the sense that we have such a great community here in Halifax. But to watch the guys give back and actually care about it and not just do it to kind of show face for our brand
yep.
is so incredible. And it's very rewarding to see kids pick up a lacrosse stick or see a lacrosse stick for the first time in school programs, or have a kid watch him have a breakthrough moment with, a Clark Peterson coaching him on how to shoot or how to finish or whatever it is. And so that's been a really cool kind of addition to what I'm doing here, that I think has brought a lot of that love and passion back. But also just see that, these guys are busy, but not busy enough to where they don't feel like they can't, give back to the communities that have really welcomed them here.
Right. Yeah, it's bittersweet. I always say, like, I know I joined and got a little bit of credibility, but if the sport was bigger and they made money, I wouldn't even be here. It's bittersweet thing that these guys have to work full-time jobs, but
Sure.
I'm glad they also give back. It's so awesome.
It is.
We can do the Bluenose Lacrosse thing now too, and then we'll get into the Halifax stuff for the team. Is it age 10 to 19 for Bluenose Lacrosse?
Yeah, so we've got U11 all the way up to U19. I am kind of overseeing all of it. So I help with practice plans for all of them. We've got coaches that coach those specific teams, and I kind of look after the older girls that are kind of in their mid recruiting stages. And so that's kind of my jam with the field lacrosse here in Nova Scotia for the girls.
That's cool. So your player development, how were you expecting to get that role, or is it like something you applied for? Or?
No. So so they reached out. So I'd helped coach girls since I moved here, box and field. And just seeing like the growth of the girls too here is incredible. Like we've got some incredible talent that, are starting to realize that they have the opportunity to go get scholarships down in the States or play, in the OUA in Ontario collegiately. So I think me coming here and having some experience in terms of recruiting and being able to pass that on is really huge, because I think that was the biggest lack of education here, and just in the way that they didn't even know that there were an opportunity, to go have part of your education or all of your education paid for down in the States to play lacrosse. And so we just got back we were in Massachusetts a few weeks ago down at a showcase. I took a team down there. So so we're trying to just do as much as we can, get film on these girls, connect with coaches. And a lot of them have had really good conversations. So it's just exciting to see, some of these girls and where the future of Nova Scotia lacrosse is going.
Mackie's traveling the world.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, in gym class, like I like dodgeball. If I had like seen lacrosse sticks, that would have been so cool to me.
Right? Yeah,
I might have picked one up. Dang it!
That's right. Yeah.
So as we enter our Thunderbirds talk here, Patrick War says, "Question for Mackie. I didn't know we were taking this, but now we are. Is there a Thunderbirds player that Mackie thinks is most poised for a breakout season or to elevate their game to another level?" I feel like Clark Peterson.
Okay, I love that. I feel like we kind of saw glimpses of it last year with Curtis Romanchuk. I feel like he's someone that wasn't really necessarily sure if he was going to get into the lineup all that often. But due to some injuries, he found his way into a regular spot at the back end. And I just feel like he has such an insane work ethic that he doesn't ever expect to have that kind of spot in the lineup, but earns it every single time. And I think, that was similar to kind of what we saw from Mike Robinson last year. And I think he kind of had a bit of a breakout in his first year, which was so exciting. I think he's only going to continue to elevate. But I think on the back end specifically, I think Romanchuk is someone that just is built to work. Like he's such a workhorse. And, I think on the defense, you don't notice some of the guys that are doing their jobs. Like I often think of like a Johnny Pearson, who's been so consistent, but he's not really talked about because he's just doing his job, right? Like lockdown defenders, sometimes you just don't point them out.
I'm guilty. I've never said his name.
Right? So, and that's the thing, but that's okay, because that's how they know that they're not getting, turned and burned all the time. So yeah, I think that he's someone that's kind of younger into his career, and I think that he's just going to continue to grow this year, and keep fighting for that spot. Like he's someone that's never going to settle. And so I think that's really exciting on the back end for him.
You mentioned Mike Robinson. I tell, like, if you look at like the rookie of the year thing, you're a lot of Dyson. I loved Adam Patra, but I also have to say Mike Robinson, every time I look at the stats, like this guy's always right there, especially towards the end of the year. That was nuts to me how close he was to that. Yeah. That no one wants to talk about.
Yeah, Pat called him the party starter in Halifax on a few of our broadcasts, just because it was true. Like whenever there was a moment where they needed kind of like a pick-me-up, like you looked to him, and to have that responsibility almost as a rookie. And I don't even know if he really felt that, but it's just pretty insane to think that he's just a goal scorer, and he comes up in big moments. But I think what's also really cool about him too is he was so open to coming into camp and going out the back door and playing defense, helping in transition, and just kind of elevating his game as a whole. And I think he's very realistic about the fact that, the game's just getting faster. And so the more versatile that you are as a player, the more you'll get on the floor, the better you'll become. So
Right.
I think, he's just going to be another one that's just going to continue to elevate. And then I guess on the rookie side of things, I'm excited to see what Will McLeod can do. I haven't seen him play in person yet, but I'm heading to their training camp at the end of the month. So I'll get to watch him in action a little bit. But I've only, seen good things online from watching some of his clips and film and stuff. But yeah, I'm super excited about what he can potentially bring to this offense as well.
Love that.
Yeah.
I know you also do Thunderbird's PR, so
Yeah.
you can wear your PR hat as I ask this question here. We all saw the picture at the man cup of Randy Stotts wearing the boot or the leg thing. I have said that he might miss extended time. Can you tell us, again, you can say it however you want, what you know about that, or what you can tell at least the public in general?
Yeah, he's on a positive trajectory. And it's just kind of taking it week by week to see how things progress, but they are progressing. So that's kind of the length of what I can give the fans at the moment. So yeah.
That was, hey, Liz.
Thank you.
We did it.
The PR training has had to come a long way for sure.
I had to ask that. Now, when I talked to Pat on Friday about like the Thunderbirds kind of preview, we dabbed in that with the bets. I thought that Warren Hill, if the team is going to be very successful this year, as I love Drew Hutchinson, everyone knows that, but I think you need a full Warren Hill year to be awesome. Do you think, and do you expect him to be awesome this year? Because he's capable of doing so.
Oh, yeah. And I think last year when we were there was like a 5-game win streak right in the middle of the season where Warren was just playing out of his mind. And I think when we were talking to some of the guys, and especially Micah Karvelis, he always says, confidence is contagious. Confidence is contagious. And I think when Warren is confident, it just kind of goes from the back out. And so the defense starts to play well, transition, just starts to fire, and same with our offense. And so I think towards the end of the season, obviously we wish that we could have pushed a little bit farther. It was a great year, all in all. I think, for the fans to have playoff games at home was so exciting. And I think for the team too, to know that we can push is huge. But I think, Warren started to really show up when he was needed at the end, despite the way that the games turned out. I do think that he had a bit of a slump there. And I think what's cool too is his relationship with Drew Hutchison and just, their brotherhood between the two. It's never a competition. It's always just support one another, and to count on one another to go in for whoever's needed. So I think Warren, I kind of got the last of it at the end of the season. And I think that he's going to come in hungry and ready to just put, that best foot forward, because this team knew what they could accomplish last year. And I think that, this team and this group only gets hungrier. So I think that that's kind of something that they're really excited to see. But I agree, it really does start from the back end. And I think Warren's a big piece of that. So, if he's ready to go, and I think he will be, then I think, good things will come for this team.
Heck yeah. A couple more questions here about Halifax. So I think the play by Mike Messenger is one of the craziest plays in NLL history, as far as I know. Who's on defense? What is I know it's going to be heartbreaking for the team, and I know you see it firsthand. But do you think that can also inspire them? We were so freaking close, man.
Yeah.
How good do they feel even though that happened?
Yeah, and I think that is what is cool, because I think, at any point in an athlete's career, you have a choice where you can kind of just put your head down and really think about it and just, check out, or you can use that as your fire and fuel yourself moving forward. And I do think that that's what Halifax is, because you even just look to how the season went. They did not start very well last year. It was tough,
and they still
and they were able to overcome that adversity. And I think also it's not like they were glaring, crazy, big, oh my God, how are we going to fix this mistakes? It was those little kind of details that are easy to fix and to approach moving forward. So I think that there's definitely positives that you can pull, but yeah, this group, I think they care so much about each other and the success that one another has that it's only just going to keep building. So I definitely think it was a motivator. And I think that, yeah, that's just the energy that they're going to come into the season with. They know that the job was not finished. And yeah, that's just kind of the underlying thing that these guys are going to be thinking about.
The Maki Jenner mentality is going there.
Right. That's right.
I cannot believe I learned that on this. I was like, this is incredible. You were just a Dane Dobie out. This is amazing.
So funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
That's right.
Best of luck. I know you do a lot of things, but I know I can tell you on the reason why I want to have you on the show. You're the second female to come on this show after Maggie Hale, for the record.
Yes.
But I can see, like, as a fan of just a media and the NLL, that you care so much about what you're doing, and I think for fans that means a lot. So I appreciate you for working hard no matter what you're doing. Please keep that up and keep the energy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a blast being on here. I'm sure maybe we'll do it again in the future if you'll have me. But thank you for all you do too. You grind, you really do, and we as fans see it. So yeah, always just keep that up.
Go Birds!
Right, that's right. Double.
Thank you so much, Mac. This was awesome.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too. See, guys, that worked out. Listen, I'll say it again here, folks. Maki Jenner, we talked about the first woman stuff, but I don't think any fan can look at what she does and say she fast tracked. Like, she is so good at what she does. She puts her head down and works hard. And I can explain to you still how much I love that I heard that she was a little rascal out there on the field. That just made my day. But it's so good seeing her do what she does. I mean, am I a Thunderbirds fan now? God, I hope not. I really hope not. Yeah. What you guys think the Thunderbirds are going to do well this year? It seems like the consensus it is. Frick, listen, man, this question right here, I wanted to, but I didn't do it, man. He said the Mac Attack is back. Mackie was legit, like he said. Yeah, Frick did say Crowley is the big cat, small Z is the kid. I kind of realized that, but it's still a cat, man. Like, give me something else. I mean, like, Liger is a good one. We got to somehow the cats. J Boy, so I don't know who that is, says looking good, Mike. And then finally, Frank says Mac is a G. Sweet. Thank you guys so much for commenting and watching. I, as always, will post these segments in separate clips so we can get the full Mackie experience if you just want to watch that again. And I respect that. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. Again, tomorrow we'll have the final 5 teams for roster recaps. I'll also probably talk about the Mitch DeSnew situation and what a sticky one that is. And, of course, I'll unveil my 11th ranked team. This has been Daily Dive. I'm so glad this episode happened. You guys have a great rest of your day. Be sure to get your lacrosse tickets at natalkradio.com. And again, if you're going to go to the game, why not? Unless you have a media pass, I can't do anything about that. But thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been Daily Dive. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. That was weird. Bye.